Hi, I'm Dave Ross. Welcome back to BSA Talks. Today we're going to have a 5-minute Q&A while I'm devouring the chicken I hunted down.
So Dave, seeing the stock market fly back up, how did that go?
If it goes up some more, I can afford more than the chicken.
What is your predictions on the stock market in the next 90 days, Dave?
I'm actually quite optimistic. I think the economy is doing well. I think the stress of the whole tariff confusion showed how strong the market was, because though the stock market bobbled, the economy did not. We've had prices come down, not go up, and all those results are very strong. At least I think that they're very strong. And certainly my own investments I'm now fully invested. Got back in at near the bottom of the Tariff Armageddon.
Which stock did you have the greatest ROI on?
Well,
in the short term.
In the short term, I think the Tesla has come up the most. Although I also got into Meta, and Meta was having severe problems, and then they got resolved, and so Meta has been way up pretty strong too, as has Palantir. Palantir is a little bit more wobbly. I think that is Tesla that is the biggest short-term gain, but Nvidia has been pretty close behind it as it recovered. I want to share with you something that I've been working on for a long time that is very important to me, and that is a Discord channel for business. On it, there will be a lot of free information, but also access to me. So you can have the ability to ask me questions, and I can respond to your particular problems and difficulties, and also help you get started. I'm really looking forward to being able to interact with you individually on there. I look forward to seeing everybody on there, and I will be waiting for you. Now, let's get back to our video.
So are you planning on selling short term, or are you planning on holding?
I'm gonna hold. I'm gonna hold for a while. I have been in all of those except Tesla for a year or more, and I've done very well doing that, and I'm going to hold it for a while. I've got enough wiggle room that even if it goes down a little bit, I've still got a large profit in it.
So you invested heavy in Tesla, and you're not planning on selling?
No, I'm not. I think that the idiocy of people torching Teslas has finally gotten out of the news, so people have stopped doing it. It was amazingly stupid.
Another question is, Dave, people are kind of looking at Trump now as a genius for bringing the tariffs down. Well, to be honest, he was the one that started the tariffs, but seeing how the market dipped and skyrocketed up, would you consider Trump a genius, or do you consider this as luck?
I don't think it's luck. I think he intended all along, the whole point, and I said so at the time, that the entire point of all the tariffs was to get people to the negotiating table. We saw it first with the United Kingdom, the agreement with their prime minister and our president on trade agreements. I think that was at least part of it. I think throwing China for a loop. China has riots in the streets. China is over a barrel because of the tariffs. For us, it really did nothing to our economy. There wasn't even any inflation. In fact, inflation was lower than expected. But China is on the edge of chaos, and they know it, and that's why they wanted to come to the negotiating table. I think that was the intent all along. I think it was mostly aimed at China, but I think it was aimed at the rest of the world too, in particular the most egregious over-tariffers, Canada and Europe. And so far it's worked. So no, I think it was completely intentional.
Any final thoughts on how our economy is going to recover, and will we actually start making more profit inside of the U.S. than relying on China and outside of other?
Yes and no. I think the major thing that we have going on is that we still want to have comparative advantage. In other words, the countries that can manufacture cheaper for us, we want them, by and large, manufacturing things. But we make the finished goods. We get raw materials and partially made goods from around the world. I think that's going to continue to happen. I think there's going to be a little bit of a tariff on them, but the finished goods are going to go the other way, already do go the other way. I think that that's going to continue to happen, and I think the results of that will be better trade. I think lower tariffs help trade internationally. The tariff situation was so badly skewed by people taking advantage of the United States. I think that has been ameliorated some. And I think that will result in more manufacturing in the United States, but more concentrated manufacturing where we're getting the raw materials for basically cheaper because there'll be less tariffs on going the other way, and we've lowered our tariffs too. So I think the overall result of the whole tariff war will be positive. We're nowhere near the end. We're in negotiations with 17 or 18 countries at the moment, and they're not as important as China and Mexico and Canada and Europe, but they're still important countries. I think the big winner of all of this, though, is going to be India. I think if there's a way to invest in India, I think this is a good time to do that, because anything that leaves China goes to India. India is the most populous country in the world. Now it's past China. It's much more pro-Western and much more modern in its attitudes, not in its infrastructure. When its infrastructure follows its attitudes, I think India will be a real powerhouse in the world. This has been your 5-minute Q&A with an entrepreneur while devouring, or at least attempting to devour, the chicken that he hunted. Thank you for joining us here, and stay tuned for next time.